and we'll continue on. So I'm going to run my app on the simulator or the device. It's running. I will go ahead and add a video clip to my feed here. I will select a video clip just to verify everything still works. This compresses, and we're just going to add it to the feed. 1 second. Somewhat is being loud here. Okay, so here we have a video. It's in the feed. It plays in a CA layer, which is awesome. I could also play it in the AV player view controller by launching this particular AV player view controller. So that works in both instances. But if I was to stop the app and kill the app and go back to the application, my data doesn't persist. So what are we working on now, and we started yesterday, is working on the data persistence part of the app. And the way we're gonna embed data persistence in the application is by using core data. So yesterday, just to review core data, yesterday we added core data to our application with 2 steps. The first step was to go to the app delegate, and we added the core data stack. I call it the stack here. Apple also calls it the stack because this is what's required for core data to work in your application. We have a persistence container and we have a save context. So those 2 functions we added to our app delegate. The second step was to create a data model, a core data model, which we created yesterday. And we added 1 entity right now. It's called CD Media Object. This entity has some attributes as well. Let me just take this out of the way. It has some attributes: a caption, created date, ID, image data, which is binary data, and video data, which is also binary data. Why did we make it binary data? Because on binary data, you could change the configuration of the binary data object such that if it's bigger than the maximum requirement for core data to save an object, it will save that object externally in storage. So that's why we opted to do our image and our video using binary data. And we moved on to our core data manager class. So here we have our core data manager class. It's a singleton. We have an array of media objects, which is now CD media object. We also have access to the context from the app delegate. We created a create media object function that takes in an image data, optional video URL. If it's a video, that's happening. And we're able to instantiate a media object entity instance. We populated it with the properties needed here, and not forgetting, we have to save the context, okay? Actually here, we save the context here. Over here, we were making sure if it's a video, just grab that data URL. Any questions before we did yesterday?
No.
All right, cool. So now is the next step in our app. We need to go and continue on and refactor some code. We also have to add an extension here on the data object because yesterday, as I mentioned, our AV player accepts a URL. Right now, our video content is a data object. So we need to convert this data object to a URL. So what we're gonna use, the first extension we'll write this morning is an extension to take data and convert it to a URL. That URL, we need to save it. So basically, we need to take the data, get a temporary URL. We'll be using the NS temporary directory. We're all familiar with the documents directory. Documents directory, again, for review, documents directory, you put permanent storage stuff in there. So the user creates like a photo, whatever, you put it in permanent storage, which is documents directory. If you want to create some sort of temporary file or some sort of data object, you could use the NS temporary directory here. This is what we're going to access. So we'll create a URL using the temporary directory and giving it a temporary name of video. You could give it any name here, and we'll append it with an extension MP4 because it's a video. And then we get this URL, then we write the URL to disk because the AV player needs to get that URL from disk. And now it's gonna get the URL back from this URL here. So this is the first part of refactoring our code to use persistence. So persistence, if you persist in video, you have to persist it via a data object. And when to play it back, you have to convert it to a URL with a physical location on disk. Any questions about that particular extension?
Alex, can you say your last sentence one more time? You said for about the data to video to URL.
So first we have data from persistence, correct?
Uh-huh.
Then if we have to play the video back, like say I run my app again, and I want to play that video, either way, anytime I want to play that video again, I have to create a temporary URL. I have to save the data object somewhere on file. And then this URL I get back here, I pass it to the AV player.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a back and forth, but it's not going to be back and forth too much because we have this little extension here. So on video data, we'll be able to say video data dot video URL.
Got it. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's like what the first thing we'll write. You're welcome. First thing we'll write here, and then we'll go ahead and refactor the view controller and the cell. Those are the two things we need, and I think we should be in good shape after this. So let's continue on. I know we have to organize our files right now, but for now we just dump it everything in one. That's okay for now. We have an extension here already called URL video preview. Again, those extensions could easily be in the model itself, but that extension here itself is pretty long, so that's fine. Let's create a new file. So let's create a new file. It's a Swift file. This is going to be the data extension. So it's a Swift file. Next. The good thing about anything we write here, you could use it in any app that you have video stuff doing. So that's good. Extensions are very usable. Reusable. Okay, so here we will call this data plus, we'll actually just call it convert. What is happening? Convert to URL. So data plus convert to URL, we create it. And we are in the file. Let's go ahead and write an extension on data. Okay. We'll have a public function here. We'll call it convert to URL. So again, the way we'll be using this on our media object is going to be something like this. So media object dot video data dot convert to URL. This is how we'll be calling this, and it's going to return us some URL. All right, so this is the use case example, here. So we quickly know that we need some sort of URL back. It will be optional because maybe it failed. So here we'll need to optionally unwrap this later. But what do we need to do? Okay, so first step, we need to get, well, let's write some notes here. Create a temporary, can't spell right now. Temporary, this is temporary. Am I spelling this right? I'm sorry. Create a temporary URL using NS.
It's just PL, tempo.
Tempo, right? I'm losing my mind. Create a temporary URL. We'll call it temp URL here. I'm losing my mind. Okay, how are we gonna create a temporary URL? We'll use the URL initializer that takes in contents. Where is it? File, sorry. File. So file with URL path. And in the file with URL path, this is where we pass in the NS temporary URL directory. And on this, we go into append a path component, which is a temporary name. We could call it any name here. We'll call it video. And we have to give it some sort of extension. So on this, we will say appending path component extension And here we'll pass in MP4. MP4. Okay. So again, we're creating a temporary URL using the NS temporary directory. Let's talk a little bit about this temporary NS directory. What does it do? Stores temporary files, like the name does. Stores temporary files. Those files get deleted as needed by the operating system. So you do not put permanent files here. System. You do not put permanent files here. You want to put permanent files, you put them in core data or you put them in documents directory. Again, documents directory is for permanent storage. Okay. If you see anything that says temporary or cache, that is temporary. So caches directory is also temporary storage. Caches directory is temporary storage. So those two we've seen. This one we've seen for the first time. And you use it if you want to create some temporary file somewhere. Any questions?
Yeah, Alex, so when you say like about temporary files, what exactly will be stored in there?
The video data, the video itself.
So why don't we want to store it in a permanent?
Because we have it as data already on core data. Luba? No, sorry, not Luba. Yulia, in core data, we are already saving the video. So in core data, the video is saved as data.
So which video we will save in temporary directory in this case?
When playing back the video, we need to have a URL pointing to the video location.
And for that, we cannot use a URL from core data?
No, because that URL, if we do it with documents directory, we could save the video itself in the documents directory and save a file, a URL path to that documents directory. But if we're doing it with core data, we save the video as data. And to play the video back, that's only when you're playing the video again. To play the video back, we take the data object, we save it temporarily on disk, and then we have a URL pointing to where that video is.
Okay.
Okay, it's a bit more work when you have to do video as opposed to images. Because with AV Player, it needs a URL. We're doing all that because of AV Player. AV Player needs a URL pointing to a location on disk. Okay, so we're doing that all because of AV Player. AV Player needs a URL in order to get that data from, in order to get that video to play back.
I guess, Alex, we didn't do it yesterday because we didn't have core data yesterday. Right?
Yesterday we had a lot, we did a lot yesterday already. Like we have to stop at some point, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying it was working yesterday without this because we wasn't saving video.
Yeah, we were not saving, exactly. Like right now the app still works, but we're not saving to, it's not permanently saving anything.
Yeah.
But now we have to refactor what we're doing in order to save it and play it back from the save file.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Sorry, can you maybe just like copy those notes from the temporary down to the player and just like Slack it out or send the chat or something?
What happened? Like you lost it? Oh,
I'm like trying to.
Is it that you don't want to type it, madam?
Not that I don't want to type it. I just can't type so fast right now.
You got one finger and one finger on the eggs, huh? Eggs and bacon.
I wish.
I wish. All right, let me do that.
I so appreciate you. Thank you.
De nada. I'll just suck it out. Let me just do it. All right, it's in the Slacks.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, so all that work for temporary URL. Great, we have temporary URL. Let's continue on. We need to use a do catch here because the operation we are doing could throw an error. The operation I mean is we have a URL, we have data, and back in our unit 4 persistence class, when we wrote our data persistence class, if you have data and you want to write it to a file, that could throw an error. So here we have data. Again, same as we saw yesterday, if I'm in data, I'm calling an instance method. And in here, I could say self. Everybody with me?
Mhm.
When I say self, I'm talking about this video data here. Video data refers to self. So I could rewrite this like this. I could say let URL equal to media object dot self dot convert to URL. So when you see I use self, I'm referring to this data instance. Everybody with me? Everybody with me?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's go down and do that. So here in my do catch, I will say self.write here, self.write to the URL, right? Now I have data, I want to write that data to a URL, to the same URL that we created the temporary file from. So here I'll say write to temp URL, and I'll use options to say write everything at once. So options here, I'll say write it atomically, which means write all the data in one chunk. Don't wait for anything, just write everything at once. And we need to mark this as a try. And now we might have an error. Failed to write video data to temporary file. Temporary file with error.
When we're saying write, we're just saying to save it to the temporary file, right?
Yep. In programming or computer science, write is the same as save.
Okay.
Right? Like you write something on paper, that means you're saving it.
Okay.
And when you say read is the same as fetch, right?
Okay.
Very good. Okay, so we have this here. Here we could just return the temporary URL. And if we don't return something here, that means we failed. So we'll just return nil here. And let's clean that up a little bit. And the notes are good. Build. Okay, so this is that. So now anytime we have video data, we could just get back a URL and pass that URL to our AV player. Cool, good? Are we good?
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on, hold on.
Why is it atomic?
Atomic means write all at once.
Okay.
Because we write in here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. Can we go to the view controller?
No,
No? What happened?
I'm writing slow today.
I'm telling you, it's that bacon.
I didn't eat no bacon.
Bacon, bacon, bacon. My daughter eats more bacon than a human adult.
Really? That's how my nephew is with eggs. He'll eat like 6 eggs a day. All he likes is eggs.
I like
Daddy,
some-
bacon.
We
Go
gotta
ahead.
take the yolk out because that's too much cholesterol.
What's that? I heard a question.
Yeah. Are we returning nil or the temporary URL?
If everything went well in our try,
Uh-huh.
we return in the temporary URL.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
If we get outside the catch here, we return nil.
Okay.
And make sure it's optional here, this guy.
Make sure what's optional.
The
URL at the top?
return URL. Yeah.
Yeah, we have that.
All right, cool. Are we good now? Are we good, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I should do roll call. Is that a thing we should do? Roll call. Make sure we hear everybody's voice before we start. Okay, so now we are back in the view controller. We're back in the MediaFeed view controller. Hold on to your seats. We are doing some refactoring. That's fine. Actually, before we refactor, let us push our code. What did we just do? Okay, let's push some code to GitHubs. Get in the habit of pushing frequently, peoples, while you're working on your group project right now, and also for next week, right? Push frequently, especially when you have something that you just edited and is working. All right, so commit, what did we just do? We added an extension to convert data to a URL. All right. Commit that and push. Okay. All right, cool. So we push our code. Now we're about to refactor our view controller. Let's start top down. Top down, so far the image picker is fine. That's good. Media objects, this is where we start refactoring. So media objects is no longer media object. What is it?
It's a CD media object.
It's a CD media object. So let's just go ahead and control click on it and edit in scope. Where's my editing scope? Not control click, option. Sorry. So command click on media object, and edit all in scope, and just put in CD in front of it and press enter. So everywhere it has media object in this particular file, it will change it to CD media object. Build, then we'll start get errors. Did everybody? I'm sorry?
Can you do that one more time, please?
One more time. Okay, let me build and make sure there's no errors before we continue. All right, so there's no errors. We're about to refactor. I want to change media object throughout the file, throughout this view controller. I command click on it. I select edit all in scope. Do you see the option edit all in scope?
Yeah.
Click on that. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see everywhere it shows up, right? Well, you should see. You see this? It's highlighted in blue.
Yeah.
All right, so that it's going to change it in all occurrences where media object is. So you could edit this and to whatever name you want. In our case, we just want to say CD. We just want to prefix it.
How many errors did you get?
I'm not done with that part yet. Let's get to it now. So when we're done editing the CD object, we should get about 5 errors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's scroll down and take care of them one at a time. Number 1, this video URL here. We no longer have a video URL. What do we have?
Extensions right now.
Video data, thank you.
Video data.
This is going to be class participation all the way through. So video data, this is what we have. Let's just change this guy to video data. We could do the same editing scope if you want here. And then we'll just do video or video objects. Video data objects. Okay, Nora, can you close the door, please?
Well, hello.
Hello, you want to say hello? Okay,
Hi,
say hello really
Nora.
quickly. She got a beautiful dress on, look.
You know I gotta see this. Oh my God, you look so beautiful.
Close the door for daddy, please, Nora. Thank you. All right, so.
Can I have her?
I know, right? So here we have our video objects. That changed as well to video objects. Now, over here, we have a video URL that doesn't exist. We have a video object here. This is a video object. Okay. Okay, now we have a video object. We need to convert that video object to a URL, correct? Hello.
Yeah, so then we use the extension.
Yes. So now just put a comma after the random element. Put a comma after random element. We'll just chain our optional chaining, our optionals here. And we'll say let video URL equal to video object dot what? What do we do?
Dot convert to, oh no, video object dot data, right?
No, you're right. Convert. That's what we wrote.
Oh, dot convert to URL. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So now we have data. It converted it to a URL. Now we have a video URL here. We could pass that video URL to our AV player, and our AV player is happy again. Awesome. Keep building. Let's see how many errors we have left. We have 4 errors left. So let's keep going.
Wait, Alex, can you go back?
Go back here.
Yeah, just for a second.
So we put a comma after random element function, right? And then we chained our optionals. And we use the video object that we unwrapped here. So this is not gonna come into the iflet if any of those are nil. Everybody? All right. So if you have iflets and you chain them up, if any of them are nil, it doesn't come inside the iflet, right? Remember back in unit 1?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes? All right, cool. So this needs to have a value. This needs to have a value in order for us to come on line 67. If we don't have a video object, we don't get in here. If we try to unwrap our URL, we don't get a URL, we do not come in here. Can we scroll down? All right, so next error is here. What are we doing here? Oh, this is the cell. So now the cell takes in a media object. We need to go to the configure cell. So just command click on configure cell, jump to definition, command click on video cell and jump to definition. And we just need to change CD here.
Wait,
Sorry, where we are? Media cell?
Let me go back.
Where we are?
I'm now in the collection view cell for row. I have an error on 100.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the collection views. Oh, in the same.
We're just going down through the errors. So the second error or the next error we saw was in cell for row.
Yeah.
Where we're trying to call configure cell and pass it as a media object, whereas we have a CD object here. Everybody with me? All right, so command click on configure cell and jump to definition. And now we're in the media cell. Everybody's in the media cell?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and then the only thing we have to do, well, not the only thing, but one of the things we have to do is change media object to CD media object and build. And then we'll have the same sort of error here we had before. Okay. Again, we could take this further. We could just make on our class, we could just have like a computed property that does this, but that's fine. For now. What's happening here? What's the sign about?
Oh no, sorry. I was stretching.
Mr. Aaron, are you trolling us? Video data, right? And this is video data. And we know what we're doing here, what we did earlier. We say let video URL equal to video data dot, what's it? Oscar? Oscar?
Video data that convert to URL.
Oscar, you sound very Oscar today.
Wait, Alex, why couldn't we just do media object dot video data dot convert?
We could do that. I like that. Let's do that. So I mean, he's saying just do this.
Yes, because it's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Class participation, we need it. I only got 2 eyes. With all of us together, we could take over the world. We could take over the world. We could take over the world. Participation is what we need. Instagram will not be Instagram with one person. Okay, so here we have video URL. We have video URL here. We have our thumbnail here, and that's good. So we're done with that cell. Let's go to more errors.
One second, just like check.
I'm here.
Fine. Okay.
I'm really sorry. I had to step away for a few moments.
Step away.
Yeah.
Why did you step away from us?
We received some bad news, unfortunately. But just moving past that, I kind of need the code, what we
Okay,
changed.
so where are you? What did you were you in the cell for earlier?
I was at the play random video. I'm a
Okay,
little further back.
play random video. Let me go to it. Play random video. Right here. Did you do play random video? Did you set that up already?
I haven't updated it, no.
Okay, so we came in here. Are you in random video right now?
I am in random video, yep.
Okay, so we had video URLs here. Now we have video objects. So we started here on line 62, if I recall. And we changed video URLs to video data objects. And we came to line 65. Now we have video objects here. We get one video object back, right?
It might just be easier if I can grab the code from somebody at this point.
I could just
I don't want to hold the class up too much.
No, you're good, man. That's review too. So I could just Slack the. Oh,
I really appreciate it.
I just a random video, right? This one.
I believe so.
And I think the cell for row 2, you need to do some stuff in there.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is Ahad typing? Ahad is typing. Ahad, are you slacking it?
No, I wasn't typing that. I was typing at the New York Times post picture thing.
Okay, got it.
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
No, it's too late. I'll stop using Slack from now on.
Let's see. So Swift, and this is play random video, and I'll just scroll down to cell for row to see play random, for you to see what we did in cell for row.
Thank you.
So this is the random video, and if we go to cell for row, this is where we did the next change. Cell for row. The only thing we did, actually we didn't do anything here. There was an error here. So if you put in your play random video, the next step will be to go to the cell.
I think I might have screwed something up. I was trying to follow along, but I don't think I did it well. Is there any chance I could just grab the whole
view controller?
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole view controller it still has errors, by the way, but we'll get there. Cool.
Okay.
Right.
I've got errors coming up in what is this? The image picker controller.
Yeah, we gotta get down there and do some stuff too.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. But to get you up to par with where we are, I will Slack you the view controller.
Greatly
It's in the Slack, so you have it now.
Thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
And no worries. And then the cell, I think we have nothing else to do in the cell, so I'll just Slack out the cell. I think the cell is done for now. So I'll just Slack out configure cell. That's where we did the changes. Right here. And Slack this. And we're gonna be good. I know, man, it's a world where every day you don't know. You just don't know. Swift. The Swift bird lives on. All right. So you are good, Mr. Greg. You have the configure cell and you have the view controller.
Thank you again.
You're good. So just build. We have more errors. Like we have 3 more errors here. And if we just start scrolling down to the next one. So the next error we have is in the did select. Everybody?
Yep.
All right, so in did select, again, we need a video URL here. So Mr. Mini tells us to just go ahead and do video data dot, I'm sorry?
For my, oh, never mind.
So that's what we need to do.
I didn't go away from my configure cell, but when I built it, it went away.
Yeah, that's Xcode. Xcode is not the best as far as, it's great. It's a great piece of software, but it has its downs, right? But I love it. It's awesome. So just do video data.convert URL. That gets us a URL, and we are good with.
I still have error for some reason.
For which one?
For this line, it says a value of type CD media object has no
One second. Let me go back.
Still.
This is where we are.
Okay, it's fine. I just built it. Okay, now.
Yeah, just build. Make sure
we
do Command B.
Okay, yeah.
Command B is like I sleep and I do Command B. Like go to bed, Command B, Command B. Where's your pillow? Where's your pillow? Command B. All right, cool. So did select is good. Let's keep going down. Greg says the next stop is in our did finish picking media, right? Everybody? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So here we have two stoplights.
Yes.
Stop. All right, what do we have going on here? CDA media object. Well, that's not happening. Just comment this out on line 164 or wherever you have the let media object. Comment it out. And let's use our go to a friend core data manager. So say let media object equal to core data manager dot shared, and we want to create something. So create media object. We have image data, I think, I hope we do. And then here URL is nil because this is happening on an image. So on an image, what we do, we take our core data shared manager object, we say create a media object with image data. This is an image, it doesn't have a video URL. So here we are done. We could take out this line, that's done. Next error, we're about to create a video. Well, comment that out as well. What does a video need? Well, a video needs image data and also a video data. Well, video URL. We have video URL, it's media URL, but we need image data as well. Let's see where we could get the image data. How can we get image data here? Somebody, how can we get image data?
It would be media object dot image data. No.
Media
The same
object.
like.
Go ahead.
Oh wait, no, not media. Oh no, it's not media object.
I think we wrote an extension for something, right? Like that takes
the video preview thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly. And what that works on a media URL, right? It works on a URL, correct, Eric?
Yeah.
All right, so we could stay here on our if let equal to as URL. We could put a comma after URL here. And we could say let, what do we want? We want image data. So we could say let image data. Oh, that's gonna get a bit long. That's okay. Let's say image first. Image, first we gotta get image according to Eric. We could get image from the media URL dot, what's it called? Was it video preview?
Video preview thumbnail.
Cool, so here we have an image. If we have an image, next comma, let us get image data. Image data, actually, do we need that? Not really. Yeah, we do. So here we could get image data from the image. We could say image.jpg and compress it to 1.0, high quality. And we have image data. A bit of work, but we get our image data. What do we do? Step one, on 169, we have the media URL. We have an extension on a URL to say, hey, URL, I want back an image. Okay, we get back an image. Now on the image, I want to say, I want to get back data from this image. Okay, we could do that. This is a built-in method called JPEG data. It takes image, a UI image, and it converts it to JPEG. And now we have data. So we have everything we need to create a video object. So let's continue on. So let media object equal to CD media object, well, core data.
Oh, I'm about to say what?
Why didn't you stop me then?
Because I thought I was wrong.
Come on. Tiffany never thinks she's wrong. Image data we have, and video URL we have as media URL. Cool, so we get back a media object, then we could append it to our array. And look at that, we're done refactoring, right? It wasn't that bad. We're done refactoring, now we just need to test things. But before we test, we want to open the floor for any questions. We might finish with time to spare to add some more UI.
Yeah.
Okay, how are we doing? Any questions? I feel like Scott right now. You guys are a hard crowd.
We're good, Alex.
What's that?
We're good.
We're good? Okay. All right, so let's go up. Well, we could keep that there, that's notes. Let's go up. We need to fetch, because now I think we could save already, but we just need to fetch somewhere. So what happened to my if let here? What's happening? Okay, let's fetch. View did load. Right after view did load, let's write a private function, fetch media objects. At some point, we should start looking at, we should find a way to do predicates, because core data is very powerful. Core data has NS predicate, as I said before. NS predicate. And there's also like a NS fetch results controller. There's some really cool, powerful things with core data. And again, there's books written about this, but it would be nice to be used, at least see what predicate looks like and fetch controller looks like. All right, so fetch objects. I'm sorry?
What are those things?
I just put it down there for more reading, but I'm not gonna go through it right now. But basically, NS predicate, I could write filters, and I could write allow filtering,
yep,
or sorting of data from core data objects, or from core data fetches. And this NS fetch results controller, similar to Firebase listener. That would be a good way to explain it. Right, something adds your table view automatically uploads. Adds automatic collection reloading of modified data. Doesn't really matter. Modified. So fetch objects, what does that do? Anybody want to walk me through how to write this, the body of this function? Let me look at my list here. Chelsea. Chelsea.
Hello?
Hello, welcome to iOS 6.3. We're writing the fetch media objects. So what, just walk us through it. What do we need here? Basically, I want this to get my data from core data and add it to my array of media objects.
Okay, so do we just call it on the media objects property?
So we say media objects, that's the array, but on the right side of our equal sign, what are we using here?
Core data?
Core data, very good. So core data manager, yes? And we have a fetch function, correct?
Yeah.
So that's going to get us our media objects. Because this, if we go back and look at what our fetch media objects was like yesterday, we wrote this function here. It returns an array of objects and it queries from the NS manage object context. It fetches everything. This is where the predicate will come in if you want to just fetch a certain amount of items. So you use like a predicate here to say, hey, I do not want to have videos that's longer than 2 minutes or whatever it is. Okay, cool. So this is good. Thank you, Chelsea.
Wait. Oh. You showed, what were you just showing her? Because I thought I missed a whole bunch. I said, what in the?
This is yesterday. You wrote this code yesterday. Where is it?
Yeah, but I was looking at it like, what did I thought.
You wrote this, you wrote this, you wrote this. Give yourself a pat in the back. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so what do we missing to do? Well, we gotta call it here.
Wait, dot shared, okay. All right.
So call fetch objects here. Again, this fetches all the objects from core data, the entity, the CD media objects entity. All right, we did a bunch of talking and we did a bunch of coding. Let us run the app and see if it persists.
Alex, I have a question.
Question, yes.
So since we're fetching it from core data, we don't need to actually append when we create a media object.
In our case, we need to because we have nothing like an NS fetch results controller attached to our core data.
Say that again?
We need to append it here.
No, I mean like later on, like or down in the code where when we create the media.
Oh, you mean like over here?
All the way online. For me, it's
like in the did finish picking media.
Yes, there. Do we
So,
need to?
So what are we doing here? We need to add it to core data, right? This is what we're doing here.
Yes, but isn't that no, okay, continue. I will look at it.
No, there's two things happening here, Amini. The first one adds it to core data.
Yeah.
The second one adds it to our collection view.
But aren't we using, I'll let you finish and then I'll think about it and then I'll ask later.
Let me actually write the notes, right? So here, adds to core data. That has nothing to do with our collection view. And then this one adds to collection view. And then it reloads. Right? There's no automatic anything here. Like if I add this, it doesn't automatically, there's no delegate. I mean, if there was a delegate on my core data manager, like.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, like if I have a delegate, it automatically updates. I don't need to do this, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, come on, don't say that. Somebody else had that question too. They just didn't raise their hand.
I'm getting an error.
An error? What did you do?
Saying cannot assign value of type parentheses to type media CD media.
Where are you? What line you on?
I'm in the fetch to do the fetch media objects.
This guy.
Yeah, I'm the media objects.
I know you updated this, right? You had to.
I did update that CD media object. Yeah.
And then you're getting an error here.
I'm getting an error there.
Can you build? Just build.
I did build. Then when I build, it fails. It says cannot assign value of type. I don't know, open parentheses and a close parentheses to type CD media object.
What you're returning in your core data manager? Are you returning an array of CD media objects?
In my core data manager, I'm gonna tell you right now. For fetch, see what happened was right.
Daniel, it's all that bacon. I blame it on the bacon.
Oh wait, but
did you get it? You had to. If you return an array of CD stuff here, right here, that's what you have. Definitely.
Wait, hold on. Okay, yep. So yeah, it's fixed.
Cool. Was that the error here?
But inside of this, we return media objects. Yeah, it's fixed.
All right. Cool. So we are good. We do a command B. Everybody's code is running without errors. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let us test. I'm sorry.
I have an error actually in the MediaFeed view controller on the line.
MediaFeed. Go ahead.
In play random video.
Play random video.
First line, when it says let video data objects equal media objects dot compact map, it says use of unresolved identifier media objects.
You mean this guy?
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't see it. It's weird.
So the only thing we changed here was media URL, right?
I changed it. I actually copied the code that you texted to Greg for the private play random video, and I like pasted it over my code, and it still doesn't work.
With the $0, right? Remove the video data, go back to just $0.
Okay.
And then press dot and see what you have in the drop down. Do you have anything that says
self
video?
And create custom view, just self. That's all I have.
You don't have video data, right?
No.
Okay. Let's see what else you have. You copied the entire code. Something else could have been different on, anything could have been different. Your model maybe was named differently, or your properties rather. So on inside of the function, on the first line where it says let video data objects, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have media object, correct? Media objects?
Yeah.
And then the media objects, if you go up, it's the same as our media objects here.
Yep.
Right? Let me stack out the updated view controller and test it out. And meanwhile, verify that your models are the same. I mean, your property names are the same like the one I have on screen here. So verify that while I slack out the view controller.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it's the same.
All right, I'll send out the updated one. So if the view controller is the same, your core data manager is also somewhat the same, right? Returning objects here. In your core data manager, are you returning CD media object?
Core data manager
Mm-hmm.
patch. Yeah.
Okay, I will also just select that out because those are the only files we're working with. So this one is the core data manager code snippet. Okay, so this is core data manager. All right, between those two files, something should be somewhat different that makes it fail.
Mm-hmm.
So check those two and let us know.
Okay, thank you.
All right. If not, I'll catch it on the break, which is probably coming up shortly. Definitely welcome. Welcome. All right, so let us run the app and test. What are we testing? We're testing persistence. Okay, app is running. For now, let's just test of images, just to keep it simple. So I select an image and I stop my app. I run the app again. Let's see if the image persists. The image persists. I'll stop here and make sure everybody images persist as well. Does the image persist for everybody?
Yes.
All right, cool. So let's take it a step further. Let's do video. So click on any video you want to save. Videos. Choose video. I should have probably made some shorter clips. Oh, we should also test capture too. If you have a device, can you capture video? Capture. 8 cores, what does 8 cores mean? I thought concurrency should be at work here.
Hold on. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something.
Anybody persistent video yet?
When I click on the picture, it's not showing.
1 second. Who was that?
Me.
Were you able to persist video?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Tiffany, go ahead.
Yeah, when I click on the picture, it's not showing.
Click on the picture. Is it a video?
No, when I click on a picture to
Oh, it doesn't save? Okay, you have to
I
look
don't know
at
if it doesn't save, but it's...
You have to look at, we got to look at your did finish picking media.
Okay, so...
Just make sure that's happening there. But you were able to do it yesterday, right? Like you were able to pick a video or image?
Well, let me try the video again.
All right, so choose, I have my video plays, the video is in here. So that's fine, that was working yesterday. But if I stop the app and I run the app again, does my video still persist? That's the question of the day. Question of the day. Let's see. Okay, so video still persists, right? I could scroll down, I could click on the video. Video still launches correctly, still plays. I could do my controls and stuff like that. All that is still good. everybody able to persist the video?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. So we have the app, it's running on my device, and let us do some video capture. Video capture. All right. All right, so I'm gonna switch to video and I'm gonna capture a couple seconds of video and stop and use video and go down to the video. I have the video here and I will stop the app and run the app again.
Alex, you're just testing persistence right now, right?
Yeah, on the device with capture, with video capture.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure the video I just captured persists, which it did. So now I could tap on it and I'm not connected to the video. Why am I connected to the TV? This is connected to the Apple TV. Okay. All right, so I also verified that video captures on the device as well. And that's about it for this particular lesson. Other things we could do, we could have, whoa, what's happening to this simulator? Well, when you have QuickTime on, other things happened. All right, so if I have my app running here, other things we could add, which we could add after the fact, I'll add it after the lesson to verify what a video is. So we could put like a play button on a video, and if it's not a video, just put no play button, obviously. So that's the only differences here, but apart from that, our app is pretty much done. I'll keep the floor open for any questions that doesn't have to do with a broken app, because the broken app, I'll help individuals after the lesson is over. But any other questions we have about what we've done over the last couple of days, feel free to ask those questions. But again, if your app is in a broken state, I'll help after the lesson there, because that's more individual help, if that makes sense. And it's a better use of time there. You'll get more from it individually. Any questions with AVFoundation? Again, this is a basic introduction to AVFoundation. There's many more things you could do to AVFoundation. So just to recap what we've done so far for the last few days, we're able to capture a video. Can we still see my screen?
Yes.
All right. We're able to capture a video using the UI image picker controller. We're able to play a video using the AV player view controller. We're able to generate a video preview using the AV asset image generator. We're able to play a video on a CA layer of a UI view. We're able to persist the video as well, okay? Other things I'll just add just for like more bonus features there. I'll add deletion. So you could delete a video, for example. So I'll just add deletion, and there's the notes already actually. The notes already in the lesson for the deleting part of it. So deletion is, where is it? Right here. So I'll just add deletion to the app. So that way when you're working on your group project, if you want to reference back to how to delete, I'll just add that after the fact. So all I'll do is have a long press on the cell and then be able to delete. We've seen that already in our photo journal app, and we've seen that throughout, like anytime you want to long press on some object, how to delete. But basically we have wrapped up the lesson. Again, I'll add the UI just to have a play button here. So you see it's a video or it's not a video. And that's about it. So if you have any other questions, please ask them. And then as far as like broken projects, I'll work with individuals after the fact, after we end lecture.
I do have a slight question.
Yes, Eric, and then Kelby, right? Was that Kelby?
No, bienvenido.
Okay, so Eric and then Bien.
All right, real quick, it's a little off subject, but when you're accessing the camera, is it not possible? I'm trying to access the panoramic camera. Is that not possible?
If you, so as I said, like with AVFoundation, if you want to do more than what you get for free from UI image picker controller, then you have to start looking at AVFoundation and do more of the heavy lifting yourself.
Okay.
So that will get you the answers you're looking for, like how do I get access to more controls from the camera.
And you said AVFoundation?
Yeah, like you have to look at AVFoundation and look at AV capture session.
Okay.
Yeah, AV capture session I would look at, like if you want to access more controls. But UI image picker controller only gives us access to the bare minimum.
Okay.
It would be nice if we had more there, but AVFoundation has a lot more.
Okay.
Because you could use, you could do capture, like instead of doing UI image picker controller, you could use AVFoundation for all that. And you have more configurations there.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like when you look at Instagram, like if you look at Instagram, for example, and let me pull up Instagram real quick. Everything is so slow today on my phone. So if I fire up Instagram, here. If I go swipe left, you see this control here, that camera option here? They're going deeper than just UI image picker. They're setting that whole UI using AVFoundation and the tools they have there.
Okay.
So this is like a custom build camera.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so whatever we did today, you could go even further down and do things more custom.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so Ben Benito, you had a question?
Yeah, so it was just a simple question. Would it be better to have a delegate on the core data manager?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that. I think that was Amini's question as well, right? Amini was asking about the append, like when I add something or whatever, just like have it reloaded automatically on core data. Right, Ben?
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could totally do that.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank
As
you.
long as you start seeing those patterns there, that's very good. That's what we're looking for. Like, how can I make this even better, like more optimized? Cool.
Alex, I have a question.
Yes.
So it's kind of like late, but what does it mean to allow external storage?
Yeah, we went through that, right? We'll go through it again. This is good. It's not late. It's not late for any question.
I mean, like,
so let's go back to that, right? So if I go back to my video data here, and we said allow external storage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what that says, core data has like a maximum size object it could save in memory.
Okay.
Right? If the object you're trying to save is bigger than that maximum size, it will save it in an external storage in your app or in your file system.
Okay. And it has access to that?
Yes,
like
it has. I mean, that's like part of iOS, so it's not like a third-party library. So iOS knows where to go for things.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna save like your image if it's bigger than 128 kilobytes, I think, or whatever the size is. It will save it in external storage, which is permanent.
Okay.
Okay. So by just saying allow external storage there, you're giving access to that.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Good. And it's not too late. That's a question that's very